Michael Snyder of the economiccollapseblog.com. Get into the economy, get into the dirty tricks, get into the elite. You know, they admit they have a world collapse program to bring them into power. That's their own mission, but it's, as one of our guests, Matt Bracken, says, it's one thing to claim you're going to ride the tiger. It's another thing to actually do it. You've got the floor for the next 18 minutes. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, Alex, you know, certainly we here in the United States, actually, things are better in terms of economically, financially than almost everywhere else in the world. But things are still not great here. You know, we're still seeing kind of the long-term decline, the long-term destruction of the middle class that we've been seeing for decades, but it's kind of been accelerating.
Freedom created so much wealth that even though they've been sucking off us for decades, we're still number one. Go ahead.
Yeah, we just got a brand new number on home ownership. And just recently, the rate of home ownership in the United States, it's fallen every single year while Barack Obama's been in office. But just here recently, it hit the lowest level ever measured. In other words, the percentage of Americans that actually own their own home is the smallest it's ever been. And so the middle class is shrinking. In fact, in 2015, last year, we learned for the very first time in American history, the middle class has become a minority. And so if you add up all the wealthy people and all the poor people, which has been exploding, you add them together, they outnumber the middle class now for the first time ever. So we're seeing the middle class is being destroyed. Meanwhile, in the corporate world, we're seeing all kinds of things similar to what we saw in 2008, where we're
record profits by these inside bastards. Look at this one. The rich get richer as billionaires increase in number.
Yeah, but now corporations are starting to fall on harder times. For example, corporate earnings are now down for 5 months in a row. So corporations are...
No, I totally agree with you that corporations in general are getting screwed, but the mega ones on the insider group, they're doing great.
Oh, yeah. But a lot of the ones that aren't in the inside, they're getting into trouble. They're getting behind on their debts. Corporate debt delinquencies are the highest they've been since the crisis of 2008. Corporate debt defaults, those that are actually defaulting on their debts, the highest since
the financial crisis. And isn't that the canary in the coal mine is corporate defaults because they know first?
Yeah, well, we're seeing a huge problems in the energy industry, of course, with the price of oil just going through the floor, falling again here just recently. More than 20% since early June, the price of oil has tumbled. And so this is putting renewed stress on the energy industry. And people might say, well, I can go to the gas station, get cheaper gas, but it's killing jobs. Since mid-2014, we've lost 195,000 energy jobs, good paying energy jobs in the United States alone. And these are the kind of middle class jobs which we actually need to have a middle class. I mean, you can't replace an oil field job, an energy job with, you know, even a whole bunch of part-time jobs stocking the shelves at Walmart. You know, if we're going to have a thriving middle class, we need middle class jobs. So, and then this crash in the price of oil is also putting pressure on financial institutions all over Wall Street that are heavily involved in the energy industry, with making them loans, with derivatives, with everything else. So this renewed crash in the price of oil is putting renewed stress on the financial markets and all over the world. And here in the United States, you know, we've got our too big to fail banks. But overseas, it's even worse. Over in Italy.
So what is your prediction? What's the real state of the global economy? Mega recession or depression?
Well, much of the global economy has already fallen into recession. The U.S. is actually in better shape than almost everyone else in the world. I mean, you look at the country hosting the Olympics right now, Brazil. They were the 7th largest economy on the planet. Now they've fallen down to 9th because they're in their worst economic depression since the Great Depression in the 1930s. In fact, CNN ran an article not too long ago where they said, Brazil, economic collapse, worse than feared. So CNN is actually admitting that Brazil is experiencing an economic collapse. Their infrastructure is falling to
pieces. What about Venezuela?
Yeah, Venezuela is right next door to Brazil, where in Venezuela, I just posted an article about this just a few days ago, where in Venezuela, some people were so desperate for food that they actually broke into a zoo and have been taking the zoo animals. And at first they started with the sheep and the pigs, but then they actually pulled a black stallion out of the cage and slaughtered it for meat because they were so hungry. And not too long ago, just a few months ago, a mayor down there in Venezuela came out and said people in his area are they're hunting down dogs and cats and pigeons for food.
Yeah, people's pets are being gobbled up.
Yeah, because and there's not money to feed the pets anyway, not money to feed the animals in the zoo. Something to go along with the zoo story is that, you know, yeah, they're breaking in and killing these animals, but more animals have actually died from starvation in the zoos. Dozens of animals.
Sure, so it's better to eat them. Let me ask you this then. How is it going for the globalists? Because they admitted they wanted to have a worldwide economic collapse to consolidate control, but it doesn't look like it's going the way they wanted it to.
Yeah, well, the globalists are not all powerful, but yeah, they would like to accelerate their program. Now, here in the United States, they'd like to keep things together long enough to make sure Trump doesn't get in. But, you know, globally, they do want to accelerate their New World Order, but there's been a rebellion among the people. We saw the Brexit vote where the people of the United Kingdom, you know, Great Britain said, well, no, we don't want to be part of the European Union. It was a rebuke to globalism, which I think kind of stunned the globalists. So I think that set their program a bit, and on a number of fronts around the world.
I agree.
Their program is being set
Well,
back.
they've said in the Washington Post, they've said in the Financial Times, everywhere, globalism is in crisis, the worst threat ever. But aren't these animals like bears and black stallions being eaten, horses, indicative of, quite frankly, huge cities collapsing are like locusts, where within 10 days, most people become cannibals? I mean, if we have a global societal collapse anywhere near the Great Depression, it is going to be spectacular.
Yeah, desperate people do desperate things. And here in the United States, we're not too far away, where one recent survey found 62% of all Americans have less than $1,000 in savings. And so when things, and other surveys have found that over half the country have less than a 3-day supply of non-perishable food and supplies at home. So when things get really, really bad, you know, about more than half the country is going to be desperate really, really quick. So, you know, while things still are at least relatively stable for the moment, now's not the time to party. Now's the time to get prepared.
Talk show host is Alex Jones. He's a conspiracy theorist.
Radio talk show host Alex Jones.
Alex Jones.
Jones is the wildly popular conspiracy theorist.
Radio talk show host and conspiracy theorist Alex Jones.
Deeply, I think, racist.
I just got called racist by MSNBC.
I don't want that man to have a gun.
1776 will commence again if you try to take our firearms.
The Alex Jones Show. Watch the free stream live at Infowars.com/show.
Special Forces selection. It's not like you could ever take the easy road. You can't take steroids to make, you know, being a Special Forces operator easy. I'm always looking for the best and natural way to get myself to the limit. I have to have the edge over my opponents. I believe that super male vitality, you know, that gives me the edge. I've been taking it, and I'm still getting faster and stronger every day.
Start your journey to super male vitality today at InfoWarsLife.com.